Hi guys, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 21 of VEDA, vlogging every day in April, video every day in April, whichever one you prefer. And today I am showing you guys some really super corny historical romance book covers that I have in my possession because I love them. Now, traditionally, this is the kind of book cover that I usually really like on historical romance novels. They either have like a giant jewel, a candle, just a one inanimate object thing, or it's just nothing, really just a title. I don't know why I like them, I just do. If it's not these, then on the other end of the spectrum, my other preference is for the super cheesy ones, which I'm about to show you a lot of now. First up, I have The Nighthawk by Kristen Kyle. This one says, determined to earn her father's approval, Carrie's soul is set out to capture the commander of the rebel forces, wreaking havoc on the world, but she didn't count on her plans being upset by a rogue smuggler, a handsome loner concealing a shadowy past and an even darker secret. After he managed to turn the tables and take her hostage, Talon should have rid himself of her dangerous company for his opportunity. Instead, he found himself torn between raging hunger to possess her and a driving need to escape a passion that jeopardized everything he strived for. Also, like, check the super corny, like, the hand tattoo. So this is like some otherworldly, spacey, and you can tell they're old because for a while they used to come with these little inserts dead ass in the middle of the book about like signing up for like this book club where you get $4 for however month. Yeah, I always used to have those. This one was published in 1997. Then I have some some Johanna Lindsey books. Hers were particularly corny and cheesy. There is Heart's Flame, Secret Fire, and Gentle Rogue. Check Fabio on the cover of this one. This one, Kristen Hardred met the icy fury in her captor's crystal green gaze with defiance. She was a prisoner of Royce of Windhurst, but his slave she'd never be. This powerful Saxon lord had at last met his match in the Viking beauty, his equal in pride and strength, and in the fierce hot hunger of insatiable desire. But Kristen could not know the torment that divided his soul, for how he ached to hold her soft, supple body, thirsted for the ringing joy of her laughter, yet hated her for an ancient crime that was not her own. But her golden loveliness drives him mad with desire, her fiery eyes taunting him, compelling him to claim her, until in wordless surrender they cast aside the shackles of doubt and distrust to unite forever in searing promise of all-consuming love. So, Vikings and Saxons. I don't know why I like these, I just really do. Then, Secret Fire. In this one, the Russian prince saw Lady Catherine St. John on the street in London and decided he had to have her and had her dragged back to his townhouse. This one was published in 1987. This book is older than me. This one was published in also 87, apparently. Then we have Gentle Rogue. In this one it says, her heart trampled and torn, innocent Georgina Anderson was desperate to return home to America. Leaving her sorrow on England's shores, she defiantly boarded the gentleman's ship, Maiden Anne, disguised as cabin boy, never dreaming she'd be forced into intimate servitude to the irresponsible rake, Captain James Mallory. A handsome ex-pirate, the black sheep of a proud and pest to his family, Mallory swore no woman alive would entice him into matrimony, but on the high seas, he would be bested by a high-spirited beauty whose love of freedom and adventure rivaled his own, and by an inescapable tidal wave of passion that threatened to engulf them both. Okay, this one's a little problematic, talking about forced into servitude. We'll see. I don't know about that one. But this one was published in 1990. Then I got one that is just damn funny for several reasons. This one's newer, being published in 2017. Bitch, it looks like he's pole dancing. And check the title. It's Hard Out Here for a Duke. And the series name is Keeping Up with the Cavendishes. I didn't even give a fuck what this book about. I just wanted it because the utter ridiculousness. Like, bitch. Seriously. When American-born James Cavendish marries in London tomorrow, he'll be the Duke of Durham. Some might be ecstatic at the opportunity, but not James. He's a simple man, fond of simple pleasures. And right now, nothing could be more pleasurable than spending his last night of freedom with a beautiful stranger. Uh-oh. One wild night, Meredith Green, companion to the Dowager Duchess of Durham, said yes to a man she thought she'd never see again. Suddenly, they're living under the same roof. Meredith is expected to teach him how to be a duke while trying not to surrender to temptation a second time. I hope this bitch ain't married. For a duke and a commoner, marriage would be a pure scandal, yet nothing's ever felt right as having Meredith in his arms and in his bed, so he must choose between a duty he never desired and a woman who he longs for, body and soul. This one might, I don't know, but just this pose on this giant four-poster bed, and it's hard out here for a duke. I just keep hearing that song in my head. It's hard out here for a pimp. Then I have some that are just, I like the ones like this one that have like the insert inside. So this one's by Dara Joy. It is called Mine to Take. This guy is shackled up, so who knows what kind of fuckery is going on with this one. I have not read this one. It says, he was full-blooded and untamable, sensual and sensuous, erotically magnetic, a uniquely beautiful creature who could make himself irresistible to women, and he was feral at heart, with his glittering green and gold eyes, silken hair and purring voice. The stunning captive chained to the wall with exactly what Janice needed, and he was hers to take, or so she believed, but she had never heard how dangerous it was to lie down with the cat. What the fuck? Why do I have this? This is purely a cover by, and it sounds like some fuckery and foolishness, but I also really like how these that have this little, like, shortened cover with this other one behind means it's usually a pretty racy picture underneath. Didn't check it out. Oh, that was not as bad as some of them. Apparently he's some kind of cat shifter. I'm hoping this doesn't imply that she sounds like that. And see, this one's got the inserts on the inside too, for buying more books. Hopefully this doesn't mean she just assumed oh, hey, you're a captive, I need a sex slave. What? Wait, this was written in 98. Then I have, and this author is a particular favorite of mine because her stuff is pretty steamy. This is Connie Mason. Now, she is another one who tends to have like the more racier covers on the inside, so check this one out. The Viking and the cover inside. This one says, the first time he saw her, she was clad in nothing but moonlight and mist in the midnight cloud of her lustrous hair. From that moment, Thorn the Relentless knew he'd been bewitched by the maiden bathing in the forest pool. How else to explain the torrid dreams that haunted his nights, the fierce longing that kept his hard-muscled warrior's body in a constant state of arousal? Thorn knew of only one way to combat the witch's powerful spell, to capture her in a Viking raid and make her his own. But once the deed, check that logic. But once the deed was done, he found himself still more enchanted by his lovely thrall. Could Fiona be speaking the truth when she claimed it was not sorcery that bound him to her, but the powerful yearning of his Viking heart? Again, like, that gown she's wearing, though. I love these covers. They amuse the piss out of me. Then this one, Wind Rider. I think I read this one when I was a kid, before I knew better. So we'll just say that. Grown to a mighty warrior, he lived to protect his people from the invasion of settlers who would take their land, who would defend him from the exasperating Irish beauty whose soft, sensuous touch seared his very soul. An indentured servant, desperate to escape her cruel master, Hannah McLean would do anything to be free, even trust a Cheyenne brat. Yeah, this is definitely a fucking problem. I think I'm actually about to get rid of this one. Like, now. In the meantime, like, check the cover on the inside, which is... yeah, so this one I got because I read it as a kid and I didn't remember. Yeah, this one gotta go. See when it was published. 1994. Yeah. This one gotta go. Let's put that over there in the chuck pile. Then there was Outlaw Sam. Again, by Connie Mason, and the cover on the inside. This is not that bad. Yeah, not that bad. Down and out, his face on wanted posters across the West, Sam Gentry needed a job, and the foreman of the B&G ranch was hiring cowhands. Cowhands, not cow-hands. But who was behind the scene? But who was the behind-the-scenes owner the Ramrod mentioned? Surely this Lacey wasn't the same one who'd haunted his dreams the last 5 years. His Texas rancher couldn't possibly be the dyed-in-the-wool Yankee whose betrayal had sent him to a northern prison camp. Most unlikely of all, this widowed mother simply could not be the hot-blooded wife who once warmed his bed. Bet you anything, because I don't remember much of this one. I don't know that I read this one yet. I bet you anything, though, like, that baby is his, and she's not a widow. She was just telling people that after he got sent to prison camp. I bet you that's that. Watch. Most unlikely of all, this widowed mother simply could not be the hot-blooded wife who once warmed his bed. Yet one look in her emerald eyes told him the impossible had happened. How could he take a paycheck from the gold-haired beauty when he really wanted to do was take her back in his arms? That weirdo post, though. It's like, raise this horse up. Freeze frame. Then there is Chic. Chic. I never know how to say that word. And check the inside of this one. Again, not that bad. Princess Zara had been raised as a warrior, always at her father's side in battle against the Arabs who... Yeah, this one gotta go too. This is against the Arabs who had stolen their land. So she was taken prisoner by Sheikh Jamal Abd Thabit during a raid, and she was determined not to succumb to his wishes. But she thought it would be easy for rather than take her as his concubine. Then and there, Jamal struck a deal. If he was unable to seduce her within 4 weeks, he would set her free. But Zara was more his slave than she thought, for he found herself mesmerized by the vibrant... Yeah. No. Alright, so that's 2 I gotta get rid of. Kinley McGregor, Return of the Warrior. Now, Kinley McGregor is Sherilyn Kenyon, who wrote some historical romances under a pseudonym. This was one of the ones that had a cover, but the person who owned it before me stapled the cover on the inside because it apparently came out. So I will hold it upside down to show you the... There. This is part of the Brotherhood of the Sword series. Fearless men, their allegiance to each other, to the oppressed, and to the secret society known as the Brotherhood of the Sword, and they must never surrender to the passionate yearnings of their noble hearts. Fiercely devoted to her people and her land, Queen Adair refuses to let power-mad usurper steal her crown, but the only way to protect what's hers is to seek out the man she married in childhood. Proud, tormented warrior Christian of Acre owns allegiance only to the mysterious Brotherhood and has no wish to be king over anyone but himself. Now a bold and beautiful stranger has appeared in his rooms, tempting him with an irresistible seduction and demanding he accompany her back to their kingdoms, or at the very least provide her with an heir to the throne. Though he cannot abandon a brave, regal lady to her enemies, Christian dares not give in to his traitorous body's desires. How can he deny the passion that is rightfully his and the ecstasy that awaits him in Adara's kiss? Again, there's another one. Nice, respectable cover, and then you flip it open and it's like, whoa, whoa. Then another one of hers, Master of Desire. Is this part of the Brotherhood of the Sword? There are 2. Nope, this is just a plain old historical romance. Check the cover though. Lady Emily has always dreamed of a love and a marriage that would transport her to the heights of rapture she had never known. But though the dark, dashing, and mysterious stranger who arrives at her father's castle has indeed come for Emily, romance has nothing to do with it. Draven de Montague, Earl of Ravenswood, would never have entered the home of his most hated adversary had the king not ordered him to take his foe's daughter for a year, to forge bonds of peace between their 2 feuding houses. Why would anybody order that shit? They would order you to marry that person, but why would you... you're my enemy's daughter, and I'm gonna take you to my house, you know, unchaperoned, but it's totally fine. Nothing untoward's gonna happen. It's cool. Yet here's a lass whose spirit and loveliness could tempt Draven to betray his sworn vow never to let another close to his heart. Emily knows the searing heat of her passion could burn down stubborn Draven's defenses, but will his surrender ignite a blade so hot it consumes them both? I can't read today. Shit. And then the last one I have on this pile is Master of Seduction, also by her. And also not a part of either of her paranormal historical series, just historical romance. Check that cover in that pose though, like she's literally hugging his leg. Bitch, get up. No. The infamous pirate, Blackjack Reese, never encountered a ship he could not board or a woman he couldn't bed, but the dashing brigand may have met his match in the fire of beauty he has vowed to bring him to justice. A fearless, flame-haired enchantress, Lorelei Dupree believes she has a duty to her fiancé into the city of Charleston to help in the reign of the notorious Blackjack. But when the bold pirate eludes her carefully set trap, she suddenly finds herself prisoner of the irresistible criminal they call Master of Seduction. Once trapped in Jack's intoxicating gaze, Lorelei feels herself falling under the handsome rogue's sensuous spell. And now the terror of the high seas faces the one peril he never anticipated, for though he has stolen so many hearts, he has never dreamed he'd meet a woman who could so effortlessly conquer his own. And that's the last of the really, really corny ones I dragged out. A lot of them aren't really all that bad, but these ones kind of were the corniest out of all the ones. The other ones are just like common, like regular current day themes, like just shirtless guy on the cover, not doing nothing particularly crazy, just standing there shirtless and oily. So those are it. Those 2 that I just chucked on the floor I'm about to get rid of, those books were some of the ones that were packed up that came from, you know, my stuff that was in Texas before I moved. The books I've had like for 10, 15 years or more. yeah, didn't realize those particular themes. Yeah, they gotta go. So, other than that, hope you got a good laugh or a whoa, what the hell, or just some amusement, some fun out of those book covers like I usually do. I love them. They were packed up in this big container right here. I'm about to put them back in because I have no room on my shelves for them. And I will see you guys tomorrow for who knows what the hell video I'm gonna post. Well, you'll figure it out when I do, or maybe like an hour after I do, because I've been filming every day, filming, editing, and uploading day of, so there is no pre-planning to this shit whatsoever. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.